In 2005, I believe, we had an idea to start a pilot program.
A private donor in Bloomington wanted to give money to the trust, but he wanted it specifically given towards the design and development of an educational program focusing on children.
Students in southern Indiana were increasingly being denied opportunities to have environmental education.
One thing that I have learned, or should say one of many, but many times as a teacher you get so caught up in I have to teach these standards and I don't have a whole lot of time, and it's like my day's segmented and I have to do this, I have to do that.
School systems are so strapped that the opportunity for kids to participate in environmental programming is just gone by the wayside.
If you bring professionals into your classroom, you ask them to look at those standards and meet those standards, your children benefit from the knowledge and the education of many.
We decided that we could do something about that. Again, this is another case of nobody's going to fix it for you. Sycamore Land Trust, we looked at the situation and said we could both bring nature into the classroom as well as get kids out of the classroom into nature.
And it is very, very powerful piece indeed for your kids.
We started 5 years ago with about 250 kids going on field trips from 4 different schools. And now this year, this school year, we'll have, I think, 4,500 kids going on field trips that Sycamore Land Trust is part of.
So we put our pieces together and said, we're going to start this environmental education program in 2005. If the schools aren't going to do it, we're going to make it available to them for free.
They were looking for teachers that could coordinate with their environmental educator, and I thought, oh, that sounds pretty interesting, and it would dovetail perfectly with what we do in our classroom.
It's kind of been a mix of the ways we approach it. Either they contact us or we contact them.
And it was nice to know that they were also trying to reach me. So that's how I made contact with Mr. Ritter.
Judy Moran was one of our first teachers that we started working with.
And I teach 5th grade at Edgewood Intermediate School.
She is an exemplary teacher, a fantastic person to work with, and already had a really good quality environmental education program that she did herself.
I've been doing it for, well, I guess my entire teaching career, 34 years.
But it's been a real pleasure working with her and kind of partnering and taking kids outside, developing new plans, activities, field trips.
Oh gosh, he is so awesome. There are so many times he and I, well, we're kind of like dynamite and fire. We get our heads together and it's like, oh my gosh, what can we do next?
And then tackling this well site project was a new adventure.
We had taken a look at that property and saw it as a great potential for an outdoor lab. Then last year, working with Carol Ritter, we saw the possibility of having that named a nature preserve.
The kids not only got the experience of getting out on to trail making, but also from the inception of getting the town of Ellettsville to help declare it a preserved area.
And so the last couple of years, all my classes have worked to go before the town council here in Ellettsville and also to educate ourselves about a woodland wetland.
We had a meeting with the town council and we made it a nature preserve.
And one of the good things about that is we have caught some vandalizers that have been coming around here. And so we've got a few of those taken care of.
3 people arrested.
There used to be all kinds of trash and cut down stumps like the one right over there.
Like we had beer bottles, we had gasoline, containers. We could see places like on stacks of wood that they had cut, like where they had been sitting.
In there, jump that. They don't
No, way back there.
I was going to say, they could come up here. And we're losing land at a fast rate in the United States. And whatever we can do to educate kids about their important role in preserving, stewarding, and fostering the proper development of land, we think that's an essential function of land trusts and education in general.
We had a kid say, P.S. I want you to know I've never liked science before. So we're pretty proud of that program.
There was a week in February of 2010 where the governor named it Sycamore Land Trust Week across Indiana in recognition of not only the work that we're doing to preserve southern Indiana's natural beauty, but also to make it available for school kids to learn from.
They're the next generation that are going to be the stewards of not only southern Indiana, but of other locations that they move to. Whether it be Arizona, whether it be Massachusetts, Maine, or Washington State, the needs are there for protection of the existing resources and for the land.
I went to one of my graduating seniors' open house this past weekend. It was awesome to hear these kids tell me they are going into environmental engineering, environmental education. Some of them are already out in the field doing water studies for the state of Indiana. And I just can't help but think by hooking kids in and helping them value what we have out there, that we are going to strengthen not only their lives, but the lives of the rest of the planet.